3, 2.
Welcome back, guys, to the Mesh Network pre-weekly technical analysis video. If we look at the monthly closure, we're paying attention to these highs, these previous highs over here on the monthly chart. If we look at that was back in March, April. So we were looking to see if price on the monthly could close out above those previous highs, which we have managed to close out quite. We haven't closed out above the wicks, but we've closed out above the bodies of those candles, suggesting that we could start to see this area around 14800 starting to act as support now. So obviously we do have a lot of gaps on the way up. We did have this bullish move that we've mentioned over the last few months on the NASDAQ, but so we could be due a retracement, but we're just obviously we jumped down into a lower time frame now, so clearly bullish on the monthly time frame. Jump into the weekly. And so again, if we just look back here towards those highs. So we had these wicks to the upside. We had this bullish move. Obviously, it was overall bearish, but then we had this pullback into this area that was previously retested here around 1500 flat, which is an important level of support and demand. Obviously, with that flat number right at 1500 as well, adds that extra element of importance to it. So we see the rejection previously over here. So now if we go back to current price action now, we see on the weekly we got a bit of a channel coming up here as well. So price has been respecting this trend line on the way up. So if we see structure, we're bullish at the minute on structure. So if we look at this area of consolidation here on the weekly, which eventually broke, and then we've seen a big bullish move to the upside. So say overall on the weekly bullish, previous week closure, we did manage to close just above this previous area of structure, this previous high. So we established support around 14,800 area where these wicks are on the weekly. So we go down, say we are bullish on the weekly on theirs at the minute, go down into the daily. So as you can see, we do have this bit of bearish structure. Then, so obviously on the daily chart, we're going to see a nice clean bullish structure, pulling back, grabbing liquidity, retesting this trend line. Big bullish move, broke that consolidation, found resistance around 14,400. A little pullback, another move up to the upside, 14,500. Then we pulled back and found support and give us a double bottom on the daily at this area around 14,250 before moving. We see obviously after this double bottom was printed around that area, we do see a big bullish move to the upside. So obviously a lot of liquidity was grabbed down this area before we see into this move to the upside. And then we've established resistance around 15,250 before we started to see a pullback. But then we started to make bearish structure on the daily chart. But like saying here, with this previous area of structure still holding, it hasn't even been retested yet. I'm expecting a retest of this area, but with this area still being valid, then yeah, we have got bearish structure on. Well, we started to go bullish on the daily, but with this previous bearish structure, it's just obviously suggesting a more of a complex pullback into this area rather than reversal on the higher time frames. But say we see this area consolidation, and we've now broken out of that area, broken through this area of structure, So we've gone back bullish on the daily. We have a look down in the 4 hour. Yeah, so you can see prices left us these gaps down below. When we did get that break consolidation around 14,600 area, as you can see, we've left a lot of price gaps down below. When we carried on going up, we established support of 14,800. Price did break below this shit, so we were establishing a lot of support. This 14,800 area, we established support here. Prices came through, and we've had a bit of a fake out at this area. So obviously, a lot of traders, once we broke here, and we started to see it establishing as resistance, so a lot of traders were getting in short to come and fill this gap and this retest. But obviously, this was a you can see it's if you're just getting into trading, be careful trading indices. It's a little bit more difficult than the forex space, but we see this big fake out, this big grab of liquidity before moving back to the upside. And now we're seeing price currently. We broke this area of consolidation where we've seen on the 4 hour. We start to see we broke out of that area, and then we start to see this retest. We broke down, grabbed liquidity from this area mentioned, 1500 being an important level of supply and demand on the higher time frames. So we did respect it here, but then we absolutely ripped through it before coming back up, and we can see how choppy prices being around this area, 1500 on the NASDAQ. We did get the retest of it here, and then we've got obviously this fake out we've mentioned, but now we started to make nice, clean, bullish structure. Once we grab liquidity from the sellers over here, we're starting to see this nice bullish structure, break consolidation now. I'm expecting a retest of this area around, let me see, around 1,100, call it. So around this area where we built that consolidation, but obviously with price being so close to that area around 1,500, I'm expecting 1,500 to be retested rather than the top of this consolidation. But obviously, get yourselves over to the free mesh Telegram group. The link's all down below in the description. We do update our technical analysis through the week. Obviously, we're limited to what we can analyze pre-week before the market opens. So once we start seeing more candles printed, we'll obviously see if this area starts to hold as support or whether it gets invalidated, and we see this 1,500 area start establishing support before taking trades back up into 15,250, where we've seen this previous resistance. Failing these areas holding as support, we've got 14,800 area, which was, once we've seen this break, we've got all of this price action, apart from this fake out, was trading above that 14,800 area. So we could potentially see a bit of consolidation within this area before we hit this trend line. And then, so we could see consolidation in this area, like back down to where we broke this. Let me do that again. So what I've done originally first, so this area holding as support, we could see consolidation within this range before we get to this daily trend line, and then we break out to the upside and start to continue bullish on the NASDAQ. Failing this area holding what we just mentioned, 14,800, then we could see a pullback into 14,600, before taking longs. But once again, we're going a little bit choppy on the NASDAQ at the minute, as you can see. Highest probability trade would be breaks and retests to this area, or we could potentially look for lows for break and retest to that area, but I don't like the way a lot of traders got faked out there. So we just see what happens within this area of consolidation, and with price starting to approach this trend line on the higher time frames. But yeah, get yourselves over to the free mesh Telegram group. Links are all down below. Yeah, you're missing out, guys, if you're not in it. That's my outlook for the NASDAQ this week.